The City of Menasha is pleased to present video recordings of City Council and City Committee meetings. Menasha residents and interested parties can get information about city meetings, meeting agendas, and other documents from the city website, www.menashawi.gov. Expression of opinions regarding City of Menasha issues or about these broadcasts can be made by contacting the Mayor's office, 920-967-3608. Contacting their city alderman. Contact information appears on the city website. Or by completing the electronic feedback form on the city website. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited.
All right, well, good evening. I'd like to call the City of Menasha Common Council meeting to order at 6 p.m. If you would please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk Snyder, if we can have the roll, please.
Alderman Lewis. Here. Alderman Marshall. Here. Alderman Grotti. Here. Alderman Rapella. Here. Alderman Nichols. Here. Alderman Eisenach. Here. Alderman Sevenik. Here. Alderman Perkins. Here. All are present.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to E, which is report of department officers, department heads, staff, and consultants. Is there a motion? Alderman Sevenik. All right. All right, Alderman Sevenik.
Thank you. Make sure everyone else hits their buttons too. At this time, I'd like for us to receive minutes A through F and communications G, H, I, and J.
Is there a second? Motion was made by Alderman Sevenik, seconded by Alderman Grotti. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Ayes have it. Next, we'll move on to F, which is public comments on any matter of concern to the city. You have 5 minutes per person. Just ask that you stand up at the podium, share your first and last name and address. Anyone in the gallery wish to speak this evening? Seeing no one, we'll move on to G, which is the consent agenda. Is there a motion for all of the items or minutes to approve for the Common Council? Alderman Sevenik.
We'll go through these one by one. So at this time, Mayor, I'd like for us to approve the Common Council minutes of 10/21/24.
Is there a second? Motion was made by Alderman Sevenik, seconded by Alderman Rapella. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. Item 2 is from the Administration Committee of October 21st, 2024. Is there a motion? Alderman Nichols.
Thank you. Move to accept the 8.65% increase from Network Health and continue with our 4 offered plans, as well as the Family Advantage Plan option and HRA offerings.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Alderman Nichols, seconded by Alderman Eisenach. Is there any discussion? Alderman Sevenik.
Yeah, I'd like to thank staff for following through on this, and just kind of want to note that during our Neenah Menasha Fire Rescue meeting, I believe the city of Neenah's increase was almost 20%. So, big difference.
Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, if we can have a roll call, please.
Motion carries 8-0.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to item 3, which is from the Board of Public Works meeting. Is there a motion? Alderman Sevenik.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like for us to make payment to Northeast Asphalt, contract number 2024-03. This is for the Jefferson Park improvements in the amount of $83,070.85.
Is it, all right, motion was made by Alderman Sevenik, seconded by Alderman Grotti. Is there any discussion? Alderman Sevenik.
can you give us, the community, an update on where we are with Jefferson Park, either Thad or the director?
Sure. So there is continued work out at Jefferson Park. They did finish the trail in the last week or two, so you'll see the pavement there, and they are working on the curbing for Cargus Drive. The new pavilion, we're just finalizing details on that, and that should break ground probably in the next week or so. So they'll continue movement on that.
Thank you. As far as grass and that, are we looking at springtime then?
We had hoped most of the restoration will happen in spring when it comes to grass with the softball diamond. We were hoping to see planting this fall, so that'll be continued discussion with our contractors related to that.
Thank you, because I did have a few people ask me that question, and I had no answer for them.
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, if we can have a roll call vote, please.
Motion carries 8-0.
Thank you. Item 4 is a payment from the Board of Public Works. Is there a motion? Alderman Sevenick.
Board is recommending payment to MCC Incorporated. This is contract unit 2024-05. This is new street construction, and the amount of $314,202.11.
Is there a second? Second. Motion was made by Alderman Sevenick, seconded by Alderman Perkins. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, if we can have a roll call vote, please.
Motion carries 8-0.
Thank you. Item 5 is a change order from the Board of Public Works Committee meeting. Is there a motion? Alderman Sevenick.
Even though the work has been done, I move that we do the change order for Yankee General Contractors, unit contract unit number 2024-08. This is for the Water Street Corridor reconstruction. This is an addition of $79,232.23.
Is there a second? All right, motion was made by Alderman Sevenick, seconded by Alderman Rapella. Is there any discussion? Alderman Grady?
Thank you, Mayor. Deputy Gordon, I'd probably refer this to you. I don't know who's in charge of this Water Street corridor. So what does this add of $80,000 include? And was it predicted, or is this something that we did not know about?
Something that we predicted. It was something that came up that the design engineer came back after they were in the process of actually forming the coping. That's the top concrete on the wall. They had roughly 100 feet formed up, and then they came back and they said, we did some additional calculations and we don't think our original calculations were correct. And they actually wanted us to pour the coping twice as wide as what it was. That would have resulted in a change order of roughly $160,000, where this one came in at roughly $80,000. So in discussions with our contractor and the design engineer, they ended up settling on a different solution. They tied in a thinner piece of concrete on the land side of the coping, roughly 8 inches thick, with additional rebar and tying into the coping to keep the coping from tipping off of the wall. Throughout the process, we were trying to get them to commit to not putting the additional tongue, additional concrete on the back of the coping where there was no railing. And we continue to work on that to try to minimize this, but this was the answer that they came back to us every time. I've talked with our consultant. The design engineer on this project was a subcontractor to our consultant. So I've talked with our consultant, the general, if that's what you want to call it, and as far as why such a big change. We've also talked with other, I talked with the contractor's engineer that they've used on projects, and they raised some flags, and I brought those concerns back to the design engineer, and they raised other concerns. And it ultimately, at the end, I think that something different could have been done, but at the time, if we didn't move ahead with this, we wouldn't be finishing this project.
Okay, I know you mentioned some of this last time in the last council meeting with the public, with the board meeting, and I kind of thank you for bringing that up to the engineers, because this could have cost more than $79,000 or whatever, so.
Correct.
Thank you for your hard work on this.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, if we can have a roll call vote, please.
Motion carries 8-0.
Thank you. Item 6 is a payment. Is there a motion? Alderman Sevenick.
The Board of Public Works is recommending payment to Yankee General Contractors Incorporated. This is contract unit number 2024-08. This is, again, the Water Street Corridor reconstruction in the amount of $315,218.54.
All right, motion was made by Alderman Sevenick, seconded by Alderman Rapella. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, if we can have a roll, please.
Motion carries 8-0.
Thank you. 7 is from the Joint Finance and Personnel, Nina Menasha Fire Rescue. Is there a motion? Alderman Grady.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to forward to the council and approve their offer to extend the candidate of the position of the Assistant Chief of Fire Prevention to a salary above the midpoint at the starting range of $89,739 annually.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion was made by Alderman Grady, seconded by Alderman Marshall. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, if we can have a roll.
Motion carries 8-0.
Next is item 8, also from Nina Menasha Fire Rescue, Joint Finance and Personnel. Is there a motion? Alderman Grady.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, I'd like to make the motion that we offer a 3% ad rate using the highest paid assistant chief pay in the comparison to the chief commander pay as of January 1 annually, and applying unilaterally to the alternate assistant chief.
Second.
All right, motion was made by Alderman Grady, seconded by Alderman Marshall. Is there any discussion? Alderman Sevenick.
I had asked to postpone this matter because the City of Neenah Council had tabled the matter and decided to table it to, which is kind of a weird thing to do. They should just postpone it to, or just move it to a committee, which was their committee of the whole, which we don't use. And Alderman Marshall and myself went to that meeting. We're both on the Neenah Menasha Fire Rescue Committee, and it passed. So I just wanted the council to know that. It was recommended, though, to their common council. So there was one person absent. So if everyone votes the way they did in committee, it should pass. So I'm okay with approving this tonight.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, if we can have the roll, please.
Motion carries 8-0.
Next is item 9, which is the, from the Personnel Committee, from October 21st, 2024. Is there a motion? Alderman Grady.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, I'd like to make the motion that we approve the tentative agreement for the Menasha Professional Police Association, WPPA/LEER, Local 603.
Is there a second? All right, motion was made by Alderman Grady, seconded by Alderman Nichols. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, if we can have a roll vote, or the roll, please.
Motion carries 8-0.
Thank you. Item 10 is also from the Personnel Committee. Is there a motion? Alderman Grady.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, I'd also like to make the motion that we approve the memorandum of agreement between the Menasha Professional Police Association, WPPA/LEER, Local 306.
Second and 603. Is there any discussion?
Oh, sorry.
No, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Any discussion? Alderman Grady?
The only discussion I have is, I want to thank everyone involved in this union contract. I know it was the chief's first contract, and the tentative agreement with the new schedule change and everything we're doing for the city of Menasha and the police and safety for our city. Give us kudos, and we'll just see how this works. And then we are, as we said before, going to review it, halfway through the year of this year. So thank you, City Attorney. Awesome job. And thank you, everyone that was involved in getting this settled.
Thank you. Alderman Sevenik.
Thank you. I have a question for the city attorney. I want to make sure that if we do agree to this memorandum of agreement, that it doesn't open up anything else other than the conversations about the shift and the time schedules and those types of things, that it doesn't mean we're renegotiating the whole contract.
That's right. So the items that are presented on the MOA document, those are the only items that are attached to the MOA that can be discussed next year.
For the record.
Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, if we can have a roll call vote, please.
Motion carries 8-0.
Thank you. Item 11 is from the Plan Commission. Is there a motion? Alderman Eisenach.
Thank you. The staff recommendation to recommend to council to deny the ATC request for electric transmission line easement 971K11.
Is there a second? All right, motion was made by Alderman Eisenach, seconded by Alderman Sevenik. Is there any discussion? Yeah, Alderman Sevenik.
To find the spot here. Thank you. So, as you know, a few meetings back, I had shared my opinion about using pesticides and other chemicals and that, and I hope that by doing this, that we'll continue to hold ourselves in that position. I think the mayor feels the same way as I do on this, especially the fact that some of this is near the Heckrod wetland areas, and I know it's easy for ATC to just go in there and spray, but we need to look out for our environment and our community. So thank you for your work on that, and hopefully we don't give up this easement so easily, and we just have a temporary easement, if anything. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, wholeheartedly agree on not using pesticides and herbicides. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, if we can have a roll call vote, please.
Motion carries 8-0.
Thank you. Next is I, action items, and we have accounts payable. Is there a motion? Alderman Nichols.
Thank you. Move to approve the accounts payable and payroll for the term of October 18th through October 31st, 2024, in the amount of $2,301,674.35.
Is there a second? All right, a motion was made by Alderman Nichols, seconded by Alderman Perkins. Is there any discussion? Alderman Rapella.
Thank you, Mayor. Jennifer, I can't find the check number, but I did notice that we're buying a vehicle for $91,000. Could you explain the bells and whistles that are on that vehicle?
Yeah, Public Works, you know.
No, I don't.
Which car? Or a Chevy? The Chevy truck.
Yeah.
That vehicle is one of our small dump trucks, and it is a 1-ton. We did add a chipper box to it for our brush collection, so we don't have to keep taking our wing off of our big 5-yarder. So that is the one that we have for the 91,000 that we have in there.
Yeah. That's fine. Thank you, Thad.
Is there any other discussion? Alderman Rapella, do you have anything else?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, if we can have the roll call vote, please.
Motion carries 8-0.
Next, we'll move on to K, which is ordinances and resolutions. The first and only is R-33-24. Is there a motion? Alderman Sevenik.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like for us to approve R-3324. This resolution allows us to exceed the levy limit for the Neenah Menasha Fire Rescue 2025 budget.
Is there a second? Second. All right, motion was made by Alderman Sevenik, seconded by Alderman Marshall. Is there any discussion? Alderman Sevenik.
As you may recall, in past years, we do this. If we don't do it, and then we have to, we find ourselves in a tough situation. So Neenah, I know we've used this in the past. I think Neenah has used it more often than us. It pertains to our budgets. I have asked Jennifer if she would, in a nutshell, explain this to the rest of the council.
Certainly. Sorry. Yeah, we have the ability to exceed our levy limit that's imposed by the state. For a number of reasons, the city could, but if you have a joint fire department, you are able to do that. Both communities of that joint fire department have to pass that resolution, even if one of the communities doesn't need to use it. So both communities are passing this resolution. We have the last couple years. The budget increase needs to be equal to or less than the CPI plus 2% to be able to use that addition to the levy limit. So the fire department increase did fall within those parameters to allow both communities to be able to use that addition to the levy limit.
And this is unique because we are a consolidated fire department, and the state allows for that where it's not necessarily allowed in other municipalities.
Right, because of the joint fire department.
Yep. Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, if we can have a roll call vote.
Motion carries 8-0.
Thank you. Next is L, appointments, and we have the appointment for the position of Director of Public Works. Is there a motion? Alderman Sevenik.
As you know, this is a council appointment, and you had asked that the interview committee interview for this position, and we've decided to recommend to this common council James Merton III, not Howard, not Mr. Howard III or whatever, to the position of Director of Public Works effective November 5th of 2024, and he is here, and I hope you brought your speech.
Yep.
We're looking for a second.
Is there a second? Second. All right, motion was made by Alderman Sevenick, seconded by Alderman Grotti. Is there any discussion?
If he could stand so everyone could see who our new Public Works Director is. I don't know if you can get the camera over there on him, but. Yeah, you have to move for unanimous consent to allow to have James speak.
Yes.
Go ahead.
We don't have anything.
Could you press the button, please?
Oh, wow. Are you kidding me?
There it goes.
Oh, okay. Oh. When you see the red light go on, then on the mic, it'll be ready for you. Go ahead, push it again.
Almost.
There you go.
Now it's ready? Okay. All right. Just want to say thank you for the interview committee, and I certainly look forward to working with each and every one of you. I know that Menasha, I'm going to be filling some, I got some big shoes to fill with this position. I recognize that, and in the position, I plan to, I plan to, obviously fulfill the duties of the position, and then also go above and beyond, and try to, involve myself in the community as much as possible. And I know that you guys have an amazing staff. Actually, when I was started in this interview process, I reached out to individuals, other municipalities, and contractors about their experience with Menasha, and honestly, it was extremely positive. So that I got to say that I know that I'm walking into a well-oiled machine. You've got good staff, and I'm really excited to work with them, and I'm excited to work with you all. So thanks.
Welcome aboard.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, probably take a roll call vote.
Motion carries 8-0.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, James. Next, we'll move on to N, which is public comments on any matter listed on the agenda. If anyone would like to speak about anything on this agenda, please step up to the podium, first, last name, address, and yeah, is anybody interested in saying anything? No? All right. Next, we'll move to O, which would be items for the next agenda, meeting agenda by majority vote. Is there anything? Seeing none. Oh, Alderman Sevenick.
Just so you know, you're starting tomorrow, so you got to bring the donuts in for the rest of the crew.
I don't think that's official business, but I would entertain a motion to adjourn if there is one. Is there a second? All those in favor? We're adjourned at 6:28. Thank you, everybody.
The City of Menasha is pleased to present video recordings of City Council and City Committee meetings. Menasha residents and interested parties can get information about city meetings, meeting agendas, and other documents from the city website, www.menashawi.gov. Expression of opinions regarding City of Menasha issues or about these broadcasts can be made by contacting the Mayor's Office, 920-967-3608. Contacting their city alderman. Contact information appears on the city website. Or by completing the electronic feedback form on the city website. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited.